spirit first, because that's what's most important. Not how well you can perform or how much money you can make, but if you're not the human being that you should be, you're not doing it correctly.
Gladys Knight's voice has serenaded generations and earned her the title Empress of Soul, but behind the music lies a story far more complex. What happens when fame meets relentless personal hardship? With 4 marriages, heartbreaking family tragedies, and battles with addiction, her life has been a roller coaster that few know fully. At 80, Gladys Knight's story is not just about glittering stages and Grammy wins. It's about resilience amid pain and profound loss. How does a legend like her cope with the shadows cast by her personal struggles? The truth is as compelling and poignant as any of her timeless songs. Hidden struggles behind fame. Behind the dazzling spotlight of Gladys Knight's musical achievements lies a life shadowed by profound personal struggles. While the world admired her as the Empress of Soul, few saw the emotional battles she fought away from the stage. Fame brought adoration, but it couldn't shield her from the pain of broken marriages, family turmoil, and deep loss. The contrast between her graceful public persona and the challenges she faced privately reveals the complexity of living under the glare of fame. Her journey was marked by moments that tested her resilience repeatedly, balancing the pressures of a demanding career with the responsibilities and heartbreaks of family life. The sacrifices she made to protect her children and keep her career afloat often demanded putting personal needs aside, adding layers of strain. These hidden struggles were not just personal tragedies, they shaped the woman behind the music, influencing her performances and the emotional depth of her songs. One of the most difficult aspects was navigating relationships that faltered under the weight of external pressures and internal conflicts. Knight's 4 marriages brought moments of joy, intertwined with disappointment and pain, reflecting a search for stability that repeatedly eluded her. Alongside this, the responsibility of motherhood added complexity, especially as she faced custody battles and the need to shield her children from turmoil. Her battles with addiction later in life further complicated her path, showing how even legends wrestle with vulnerabilities. The gambling addiction she faced in the late 1980s threatened to derail her career and financial stability. Yet, her eventual decision to seek help from Gamblers Anonymous displayed a determination to reclaim her life, a resilience that echoes through her long-lasting legacy. These private struggles remind us that public success often obscures deeper, unseen challenges. The joyful music and sold-out concerts didn't erase the nights spent wrestling with loss or despair. This duality between triumph and tragedy is at the heart of Gladys Knight's story, setting the stage for a deeper look into her life's beginnings and how it shaped the artist we know today. As her story unfolds, it becomes clear that Gladys Knight's early life and rise to fame were foundational in both inspiring and testing her extraordinary spirit. Early life and musical rise. Gladys Knight was born on May 28, 1944, and from a young age, her extraordinary vocal talent was evident. Growing up in Atlanta, she developed a deep love for singing, first as part of her church choir in the late 1940s and early 1950s. By age 8, her powerful voice had already captured attention, foreshadowing her destiny as a music superstar. A pivotal moment came in 1952 when she won the Ted Mack Amateur Hour at just 8 years old, signaling the start of a remarkable journey. Her rise wasn't a solo endeavor. The legendary group Gladys Knight and the Pips was formed almost by accident at her brother Bubba's 9th birthday party, where a broken record player led to an impromptu performance. That spontaneous moment united Gladys, her brother Merrill, Bubba Knight, sister Brenda, and cousins William Guest and Edward Patton into a musical family. Their bond was strengthened early on by shared passion and familial ties, which fueled their relentless work on the stage and in the studio. The Pips' beginnings were kinda humble, but still fully determined. They won local talent contests in Atlanta and then slowly built a name for themselves with harmonious vocals and, pretty polished performances too. In 1957, they signed their first record deal with Brunswick Records, even though early chart success didn't really show up for them. They didn't fold, though. They served as opening acts for established artists like Sam Cooke and Jackie Wilson, and that gave them experience as well as exposure, the kind you can't really rush. Then, in 1961, things turned in a big way with the recording of Every Beat of My Heart, which pretty much launched the group into the national spotlight. Later that same decade, they relocated to Detroit and somehow landed right in the middle of the Motown scene, which opened doors and more doors. That relocation basically set the groundwork for their signing with Motown in 1966, and from there, mainstream success arrived, along with some of their greatest hits. During all of those transforming years, Gladys Knight matured in a way that wasn't just about singing, but also about becoming a performer who could deliver deep emotion and quiet strength. The mix of her remarkable talent with the tight-knit group dynamic of the Pips created this distinctive sound that stayed in people's minds for decades. Still, once fame started rising, the demands of trying to balance personal life with an unforgiving career began to surface, little by little. And while she was getting stardom, Gladys was also working through early adulthood, marriage, and mothering. It was a complex juggling thing, and it would come with its own set of challenges, not just one. These early experiences in her career and in her private life shaped what came next, and they sort of prepared the emotional highs and lows she'd face in the years ahead. The difficult realities of her personal relationships soon added tension to her evolving journey as an artist and a mother. Marriages and family turmoil. Gladys Knight's personal life was marked by a series of marriages that reflected both hope and hardship, illustrating a turbulent path away from her musical achievements. At just 16, she married James "Jimmy" Newman, an Atlanta singer and classmate, beginning a chapter filled with both family growth and struggle. Early on, she endured a tragic miscarriage, yet the couple went on to have 2 children before Newman's battles with illegal substance addiction and eventual departure shattered their family. Their marriage lasted nearly a decade, but was fraught with difficulties that led to a painful separation and eventual divorce in 1973. During this challenging period, Gladys temporarily stepped back from touring with the Pips to focus on raising their children, including their daughter Kenya Maria and son James "Jimmy" Gaston Newman III. The tensions at home contrasted sharply with the increasing momentum of her music career, forcing her to make difficult sacrifices. Following the divorce, Gladys found love again in 1974 with Barry Hankerson, a music executive connected to the industry through his record label and as uncle to the late singer Aaliyah. Together, they had a son, Shanga Ali, in 1976. However, the marriage was troubled, complicated by her continued success and his professional demands. They moved to Atlanta, while the Pips remained based in Detroit, an arrangement that further strained their relationship. The breakup of this marriage was grueling, culminating not only in divorce, but in a long, emotionally exhausting custody battle over their son. The trials surrounding Shanga Ali's care mirrored the complexity of combining family life with career pressures. Tragically, the challenges of her personal life would deepen with the abduction and slaying of Shanga Ali in 1980, an event that devastated Gladys and marked a sorrowful turning point in her life. Amid these family upheavals, Gladys also faced a third marriage to motivational speaker Les Brown in 1995, which ended in divorce just 2 years later. Her relationship history, therefore, reflects repeated attempts to find stability and support alongside the demands of fame, often with painful outcomes. These struggles underline the human vulnerability beneath her powerful stage presence. Throughout these years, Gladys balanced motherhood with the rigors of touring, recording, and public performances. Her unwavering commitment to her children, even through hardship, highlights a strength that resonated through her music and personal journey. Yet, the emotional toll of family discord and loss remained inevitably intertwined with her public success. This pattern of turbulence amid achievement underscores how the joys of a storied career were often shadowed by great personal difficulties, setting the stage for further trials and transformations ahead. The complexity of her family life and personal loss would continue to test Gladys Knight's resilience in ways few could imagine. Tragedies and losses. The highs of Gladys Knight's career were often overshadowed by profound personal tragedies that left lasting scars. Perhaps the most heart-rending of all was the loss of her son James "Jimmy" Newman III, who died suddenly of heart failure when he was only 36 years old. His unexpected passing in 1999 cut deeply into Gladys Knight's life, not only because of the pain of losing a child, but also because Jimmy had been closely involved in managing aspects of her career. The weight of his death reverberated through her family and shaped a period of intense mourning and reflection. Years before this, a far darker event shook her world: the abduction and slaying of her youngest son, Ali Hankerson. Born in 1976 during her marriage to Barry Hankerson, Shanga Ali's kidnapping in 1980 was a catastrophic blow. The disappearance and later confirmation of his death devastated Knight beyond words. She invested tremendous energy and resources into the search for her son, spending over $1 million in the relentless hunt to bring him home. His slaying left a void that no award or accolade could ever fill, a devastating reminder of life's fragile, painful realities. These losses were compounded by the ongoing emotional strain of managing custody disputes and family battles. Her marriage to Barry Hankerson ended in a bitter custody fight that drained her emotionally and financially. The public scrutiny that accompanied both the legal struggles and the personal grief only made this turbulent chapter more difficult. Despite her resilience and determined public face, the private anguish of losing a child and the hardship of separation tested her spirit in ways few could endure. Gladys Knight remained steadfast, though, embodying a unique combination of sorrow and strength that reflected in both her personal life and musical expression. Even as she grieved, she channeled her pain into her art, infusing her performances with raw emotion that resonated deeply with audiences. The juxtaposition of her public success and private suffering became a hallmark of her career, revealing how closely intertwined her songs were with her life's harsh realities. Adding to her burden was the early death of her brother David "Billy" Knight, another heartbreaking loss for the family. It's like this sequence of family tragedies could have flattened a lesser person, but for Knight, these sharp, painful reminders instead seemed to reinforce her determination to keep moving. Through all of it, her faith and her stubborn commitment to family became crucial anchors, helping her steer through that unsettled ocean of grief and hardship, even when things felt rough. Even with all these sorrows, Gladys Knight never truly stepped back from public view. She kept showing up. She often used her platform to honor her son's memories and to raise awareness about the kinds of concerns that were close to her heart. She was willing to let fans see parts of her painful road, which made people feel closer to her. And oddly enough, that closeness endeared her around the world. They didn't just admire her vocal talent, they also admired her real, human vulnerability. Still, the emotional cost was undeniable, and it turned what might have been a smoother route into something jagged, a path scored by profound loss. Her response to tragedy wasn't only inward, it also shaped the way she thought about life after music and after the applause. Knight started putting more weight on community involvement, on family legacy, and on spiritual development as concrete methods to heal and to honor the people she had lost. Those tragedies rewired her perspective, gently at first, then steadily, reminding her that the most valuable moments in life often sit beyond the stage lights and the clapping hands. Shaped and scarred by these losses, Gladys Knight's story becomes one of resilience inside unthinkable sorrow. She's carried her grief in a quiet but powerful manner, turning personal pain into a living proof of endurance that not many could match. Her legacy today is just as much about love and perseverance as it is about music and the fame that comes with it. Her journey through loss inevitably intersects with battles she fought within herself, illustrating the complexities behind her public triumphs. Addiction and recovery. Behind the grace and power of Gladys Knight's stage performances lay a private struggle that persisted for nearly a decade, her battle with gambling addiction. During the late 1980s, this challenge grew into a formidable enemy, threatening not only her career, but also her financial security and personal well-being. A particularly devastating night saw her lose $60,000, a moment that became a stark turning point. Such harsh wake-up calls forced Gladys to confront a problem that many might have hidden. Yet, she chose transparency and action instead. Recognizing the severity of her addiction, Gladys made the courageous decision to seek help, joining Gamblers Anonymous as a foundation for her recovery. This step marked the beginning of a transformative journey, showcasing a determination to reclaim control over her life. Her openness about this struggle is a testament to her strength and willingness to break stigmas often attached to addiction. It also exemplified how even icons face vulnerabilities that require help and healing. The pressures of an intense and demanding career no doubt contributed to her reliance on gambling as a coping mechanism. Navigating constant touring, recording sessions, and the ever-present public gaze created a relentless stress that she grappled with quietly for years. Recovery was not an easy or immediate fix, but Knight's steady commitment to change allowed her to rebuild not just her finances, but also her confidence and sense of self. Importantly, her recovery journey revealed facets of her character that inspired many: humility, perseverance, and hope. Gladys Knight's willingness to speak publicly about addiction has encouraged others facing similar challenges, turning her story into a beacon of possibility and renewal. Rather than allowing shame or denial to take hold, she transformed a deeply personal battle into a powerful narrative of strength. Her path to healing also influenced her spiritual life and personal growth. The struggle underscored the importance of faith, community, and self-forgiveness in her life. Addiction forced Knight to re-examine not only her habits, but also her broader purpose and values. This introspective process contributed to the spiritual transformations that would later define her adult life. Throughout this difficult period, Knight retained her passion for music, using it as a refuge and outlet. While the addiction challenged her stability, it never diminished her love for her craft or her determination to succeed. In fact, overcoming these hurdles enhanced the emotional depth of her performances, resonating with audiences who sensed a profound authenticity behind the voice. The journey through addiction and recovery also strengthened her relationships with family and close friends, reminding her of the critical role support systems play in healing. Bonding over shared struggles and mutual care brought new dimensions to her personal network. It became clear that resilience was not just an individual achievement, but a collective effort. Gladys Knight's battle with addiction is a reminder that even those who appear invincible face dark moments. Yet, it also serves as a powerful story of redemption and courage that adds richness to her legacy. Through determination and faith, she reclaimed her life and continued to inspire countless others by example. With each challenge she surmounted, her story painted a portrait of a woman who never surrendered to despair, but rather turned pain into purpose, spiritual journey, and transformation. Throughout her life, Gladys Knight's faith has been a guiding force, evolving alongside the challenges she faced. Raised in a Baptist family, her spiritual roots were formed in the church, where she first discovered her love for singing in the choir. As her personal and professional life unfolded through both triumph and hardship, her faith journey took meaningful turns, reflecting her search for peace beyond the stage. After struggles with addiction and family loss, Knight embraced Catholicism with renewed devotion. This shift offered her a sense of structure and comfort, helping her process grief while holding on to hope. Catholic traditions became a source of grounding, and her faith deepened her connection to gospel music, allowing her to weave spiritual meaning into her artistry. In 1997, Knight made another significant transition by joining the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, LDS Church. Influenced by her children's conversion, she explored their faith and found a renewed sense of purpose. This decision marked a new chapter that blended personal conviction with family unity, showing her openness to growth even later in life. Her involvement in the LDS Church brought meaningful relationships, including one with church president Gordon B. Hinckley. Knight often spoke warmly about the supportive community she found there, even humorously noting how it inspired her to sing with greater enthusiasm. This chapter also led to her leadership of Saints Unified Voices, a gospel choir that earned a Grammy, merging her musical talent with her spiritual life. Across these spiritual transitions, Knight showed a remarkable ability to adapt and seek deeper meaning. Her journey was never just about religion, but about healing, purpose, and resilience. Faith became a source of strength, helping her face life's hardships while enriching her music with deeper emotional and spiritual layers. Her beliefs also seemed to nudge her philanthropic efforts, a little bit here and there, like really quietly. Through benefit concerts and charitable work, Knight used her platform to serve others and help uplift communities. That link between faith and action makes it clearer how her spirituality isn't only about her personal routines, but also how it shows up publicly. Somehow, in many ways, her generosity feels like an extension of her beliefs, not something separate, but naturally connected to how she lives each day. Knight's faith keeps evolving, and you can feel that she accepts change without making a big thing about it. She doesn't stay stuck. Her spirituality keeps developing, and it echoes the resilience plus humility that describe her life. For her, faith isn't exactly a final destination. It is more like this ongoing journey, a process of understanding. Now, in her 80s, this spiritual foundation gives her peace and clarity. It shapes how she supports her family, mentors younger generations, and even how she thinks about her legacy. Her faith adds deeper meaning to both her life story and her music, guiding her choices in subtle but lasting ways. Ultimately, Gladys Knight's spiritual journey works as a strong example of faith that brings healing and renewal. Her story suggests that resilience comes not only from inner strength, but also from being connected to something greater. And it continues offering inspiration in every stage of life. From this deep well of faith and transformation emerges a musical legacy that has left an indelible mark on the world. Musical achievements and legacy. Gladys Knight's impact on music is immeasurable, solidifying her place as one of the most iconic voices in soul and R&B history. Known as the Empress of Soul, she carved a path that combined extraordinary talent with emotional storytelling, captivating audiences worldwide. From her early days with the Pips to her prolific solo career, Knight's artistry has been recognized with numerous awards, honors, and enduring influence. The group Gladys Knight and the Pips defined an era, producing a string of chart-topping hits through the 1960s and 1970s. Songs like Midnight Train to Georgia and That's What Friends Are For became anthems, showcasing her powerful vocals working seamlessly with the tight harmonies of the Pips. Their music not only dominated R&B charts, but also gained mainstream success, earning multiple Grammy Awards and critical acclaim. The emotional resonance in those recordings continues to inspire new generations of listeners. Her solo career further cemented Knight's stature in the music industry. Albums like Miss Gladys Knight, Good Woman, and Just For You demonstrated her versatility and maturation as an artist. Notably, the album Good Woman produced hits that charted internationally, reaching audiences far beyond her established fan base. Her ability to adapt to changing musical landscapes while retaining her signature soulful sound speaks to her enduring relevance. Knight's contributions extend beyond hits and awards. She has been inducted into multiple halls of fame, including the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and the Vocal Group Hall of Fame. These recognitions honor not only her vocal excellence, but also her influence in shaping the sound and culture of American music. Publications like Rolling Stone have listed her among the greatest vocalists of all time, a testament to her technical skill and emotional depth. Her voice has graced a variety of platforms, from studio albums to major soundtracks, including recording the theme song for the 1989 James Bond film, Licensed to Kill. This demonstrated her artistic flexibility while expanding her appeal across genres and audiences. Knight's performances, whether on concert stages or televised events, have consistently showcased her commanding presence and emotional intensity. Throughout her career, Knight has been a trailblazer for women in music, breaking barriers and paving the way for countless artists. Her success in a male-dominated industry marked a significant achievement in representation and influence. Beyond her own recordings, she has collaborated with legends like Stevie Wonder, Dionne Warwick, and Elton John, further underscoring her stature and respect among peers. Her musical legacy is also deeply tied to her humanitarian efforts, often using her platform to support causes and give back to communities. Whether through benefit concerts or activism, Knight has intertwined her artistic achievements with a commitment to making a positive impact. This dual role as an artist and advocate enhances her legacy beyond entertainment alone. Even as trends in music evolved, Knight's essence as a powerful storyteller through song remained constant. Her ability to evoke emotion through vocal nuance and lyrical expression ensures her music continues to resonate and inspire. This timeless quality has kept her relevant and beloved decades after her first recordings. Gladys Knight's musical journey is a testament to dedication, resilience, and passion. Her artistry is not just measured by awards, but by the hearts moved and the voices she has inspired. In the grand tapestry of music history, she stands as a shining beacon of soulful excellence and enduring influence. Her profound spiritual convictions and remarkable musical legacy together paint the portrait of a woman who has shaped culture while navigating life's most complex challenges. Life today and enduring resilience. At 80 years old, Gladys Knight's life reflects resilience, family devotion, and community commitment. While her touring days have slowed, she remains deeply connected to her large family, which includes 17 grandchildren and 10 great-grandchildren. This growing legacy brings her pride and joy, showing how family has become central to her life. Despite past challenges, she has built a strong support system that gives her comfort and purpose. In many ways, her home has become a place of laughter, reflection, and quiet celebration of everything she has overcome. Since marrying William McDowell in 2001, Knight has found stability and companionship that ground her in later life. Together, they enjoy a quieter lifestyle in Fairview, North Carolina, while staying active in their community. One of their notable efforts includes helping revitalize an old high school building into a community center, reflecting Knight's belief in giving back. For her, legacy is not just about personal success, but also about meaningful contributions to others. Her philanthropic work continues well into her 80s. Knight remains passionate about causes centered on children and education, contributing to fundraising efforts like the Children's Learning Centers of Fairfield County and participating in benefit concerts. These efforts highlight her lifelong dedication to using her influence for good, blending her love for music with a commitment to social impact. Although she is no longer constantly touring, Knight's passion for music remains strong. She still performs and records occasionally, reminding fans of her timeless voice and enduring artistry. Music continues to be a vital part of her identity, serving as both creative expression and emotional healing. Knight's personal reflections reveal a woman shaped by both triumph and hardship. She speaks openly about her struggles, offering an honest perspective on the realities behind fame. This transparency resonates with audiences, strengthening their respect for her not only as an artist, but also as an authentic individual. Now a matriarch of a large and loving family, Knight is really all about strong family bonds. She takes pride in guiding younger generations, and she shares this kind of wisdom that keeps everyone feeling together, and it also inspires those around her. Her life today has this calmer vibe, like a quiet peace. She holds the past difficulties with one hand and the present blessings with the other, and somehow it just balances. Despite the natural health challenges that come with age, Knight still stays mentally sharp and spiritually grounded too. She often talks about faith, love, and perseverance, and she reminds people resilience is not some quick fix, but a lifelong journey, not a sprint. Her experiences, both personal and professional, sort of fold together to make a powerful story of endurance with grace, a mixture that feels rare. When she looks back, her life reads like proof of turning hardship into strength and pain into purpose. That legacy shows up everywhere: her music, her family, and her community work. Even when the spotlight fades, her impact does not really go away. It keeps being meaningful and lasting, even in the background. There is a quiet power in how her influence continues to reach people, not through constant attention, but through the lasting impression she has left behind. Ultimately, Gladys Knight's life today is a tribute to love, faith, and determination. Her story tells us true strength is not only success in public, it is the ability to endure, to grow, and keep making a difference, steady and real. It also reminds us that a meaningful life is built over time, through small choices, resilience, and the courage to keep moving forward. Gladys Knight's journey shows us the true cost of fame and the strength it takes to overcome life's deepest hardships. Her story is not only about music, but about the resilience of the human spirit. If you found this story moving and inspiring, please like, share, and subscribe for more captivating life stories and music legends.